The tomatoes are finally setting fruit. This is one of the earlier grown indoor ones. I'm not sure which one this is going to be, but we shall soon find out. And I'm gonna come back in and trim more of this lower growth. It's getting very, very busy under here. A little too crowded. Here is a black crim. It's looking like the black crim are the early fruiters. My cherry tomatoes are not off to a great start. Could be just this part of the bed is not as rich as the other side. Oh, here we go. We have some teeny tinies. Which one's this one? Oh, what happened to the... Oh, it's either sun gold or honey drop. I just want to say how excited I am to get the chickens out of here, because I measured that I can get 4 6x3 beds put in here, and I'm hoping to do that by August. So that gives us all of July to get this chicken coop situated, because I want to use some of the space to put in my fall crops, and then come October definitely shouldn't be available for garlic. I'm gonna do a lot of garlic in one of these beds that's going in here. And it is officially Japanese beetle season, mating season, so they are out in full force. I am using the bucket and soap and the squish method. I usually like to have my gloves for this, so I'll come back and do that at a later time. Right now they're hanging out on the broad leaves of the rhubarb, but they are all over the yard. Ooh, by the way, I did have another peach melba nasturtium hanging out over here along with its counterpart. So that was a yay. And then this potato is looking like it's on its way out. It's definitely had better days. But this rhubarb that I allowed to seed is ready to be harvested. Very dry. So that's a lot of rhubarb seeds there. And then these beans are flowering. Mind you, I don't remember which beans these are. I'm guessing it's a bush bean, either the red kidney or black beans. Because they're not putting out tendrils like this one. So I'm guessing this is one of the climbing ones. Either the yard long, oriental yard long, or what was the other one? Red noodle. And the Waltham butternut has started flowering, at least male flowers, but the female flowers are not here yet. But here's a female fruit. I harvested this yesterday, so it's not in its full glory, but the colors, so cool. It's the rainbow of rainbow charts. So it's very pretty. at the beginning of the day particularly, and when it's all full and lush. I'm not sure how spinach works as far as seeding. Do you need more than one plant? Are they male and female on one plant? Because I need to chop up one of these because it's shading out the bottom stuff that's growing. We got beets and Malabar spinach under here, so I do want to thin out the seeding spinach if I don't need them. Give them to the chickens. And a different marigold flower coming up. I like these coloration. Can't wait for that. I think next year I've learned my lesson. The new corn, sweet corn space will be up where the chickens are. They'll have plenty of nitrogen, that's for sure. But the key is to dig a trench, put the seed in the trench, and then hill them with the mound that you took out of the trench. And that way they stand up better. Because now I'm going to have to source out some material and hill these, because they will fall over. The root system is pretty shallow and they need to have that extra support from us. This is a very pretty little bush here that comes up every year, and there's a culprit. And I want to learn A, what it is, and B, how to propagate it, because I really like this nice color and more spaces in the garden. It's very pretty. It's taken me 3 years, and by the time I actually do it, 4, before realizing that I do want to turn this area, just the front of the house, into the herbs / medicinal, perennial, or easily self-seeding plants area. I just love all the beneficials they bring in, and accessible to the house. The backyard is closer to the kitchen, but there's a giant patio there that's just hot baking mess. Oh, speaking of, so while the slugs have taken a break from destroying my kohlrabi, now it's the bunny's turn. So I'll be lucky if I get that much kohlrabi, but luckily I'll be doing a fall planting of that. And I don't pull out plants, especially if I see there's still growth on them, because they will bounce back better than ever. So all these still have young leaves, so they'll come back. I'll just be quite delayed, but hopefully I'll have enough to harvest later down the road. Now the garlic is nearing its completion, which is odd because I planted it way later. I didn't plant it till November. Usually I plant in October, mid-October, and then we had such a cool season in spring, but they are looking nearly there. So next week is probably a good time. I am curious to see how the ones that had anthracnose fungal disease, how those fared compared to the ones that were planted next to it. So I know certain ones definitely, like this one was definitely one that was hit with it. So I'll be curious to see what that looks like. So I only have this for another week, so I'm trying to get the bunny with it. It's a tiny, tiny one, so I don't know. Yeah, it's probably heavy enough to set off the trap. So we'll see if we are successful. Ooh, a dragonfly. There's not too many of them. Don't go. No, don't go. There's not too many of them so far this season. No. But they're around. And that's a green one I haven't seen before. Alright, that's where I'll leave you for today. End of June. Talk to you all again soon. Bye!